there, my name is Rebecca and I'm the Customer Service Manager for MyMerit Technology. Today we'll be going through the Councillor Portal and Tile overview for MyMerit. This is a sign-in page. In order to sign in, please enter your username and password. Click Sign In. Once we have signed in, this brings us to the Councillor homepage. There are a number of tiles on this page and we'll go through each tile in detail. The first tile is the monitor tile. Now this is to monitor an existing service request. Next we have request and monitor, and this is to add a new service request and monitor that request. Next we have report an issue tile. Now this allows us to report an issue directly to MyMerit. Next we have the inquiry tile. Now this allows us to add an inquiry for information. Next we have the request lodged. Now this is a list of all the requests that have been lodged by us or on our behalf. Next we have the notifications tile. Now this lists all of the notifications that have been sent to us. Next we have the reports tile. Now this allows us to run any reports that we feel may be relevant. The first tile we will go through is the monitor tile. Once we click on the monitor tile, we are provided with a monitor a service request form. The first question it asks us is, are we a counsellor? And because we are a counsellor, it is pre-selected as yes. This is dependent on our login. Next, we have details of the request that we would like to monitor. We are able to provide any details in here that we can in order to support staff to be able to find the request that we would like to monitor. In this case, for the purposes of this demonstration, I am going to use an email address. We do have the ability to search via the name that is linked to the request, the request date, the phone, and the request type. Next, it asks what we would like to be informed about relating to this request. Please provide as much information as possible here. Next, it would like to know the reason for monitoring. Again, please provide as much information as you can. We also have the ability to upload any attachments. In order to upload an attachment, please click on the Upload Attachments button. We are provided with an Add Attachments window. Click Choose File. Double-click on the file. Add an attachment description and click OK. Please note that the file has now been attached to this request. Next, we have our details. Now, our name, surname, telephone, and email have been pre-filled, and this is pre-dependent on our login. Click Submit. We've now received a success message. This lets us know that the request has been created successfully. We are provided with a reference number, which is also the request ID. Click Close. Next, we have the Request and Monitor tile. We are provided with an Add a New Request to Monitor form. Similar to before, our name has been pre-selected as the counsellor because of our login. We are asked to describe the issue. Please provide as much information as you can here. We also have the ability to upload any attachments to this issue. And as before, click the Upload Attachments button. Click Choose File from the Add Attachments window. Double-click on the file that you wish to upload and add an attachment description before you click OK. Next, we have Location of Issue. Once you begin to type the address, we are provided with a menu of options. Please select the appropriate address from the options. Next, it asks, would we like this request to be monitored? And because this is an Add a New Request to Monitor form, it has been pre-selected as yes. Next, we have our details. Now, this has been pre-filled and this is dependent on our login. We have the ability to change these details to the customer details here if we would like the customer to be notified on creation of this request. Click Submit. We have now received a success message. This lets us know that the request has been created successfully. We are provided with a reference number, which is also the request ID. Click Close. Next, we have the Report an Issue tile. To report an issue, please fill in this form. We are provided with a new councillor request form, and as before, the question, are we a councillor, has been pre-selected as yes, and this is dependent on our login. Next, it asks, what would we like to inquire about? So please provide as much information about the issue as possible. Next, we are asked to provide the address. Please begin to type the address and select the appropriate address from the menu provided. Again, we are asked to provide a location description. Now, the location description will support any officers in the field to overcome any barriers to service provision. Please provide as much information as you can. And we also have our details, which has been pre-filled, and this is determined on our login. Click Submit. We have received a success message. This lets us know that the request has been created successfully. We have a reference number, which is also the request ID. Click Close. Next, we have the inquiry tile. Now, this supports us to submit an inquiry for information. Once we click on that, we also have the same question as before. So, are we a councillor? And because we are logged in as a councillor, it is pre-selected as yes. Next, it's asking what we would like to know about. So please provide as much information here as possible. We also have the ability to upload any attachments, and as before, click the Upload Attachments button, go to the Add Attachments window, click Choose File, double click on the file from your computer or your device, add an attachment description, and click OK. And then we have our details, which again is pre-filled, and this is determined on our login. Click Submit. We have received a success message. This lets us know that the request has been created successfully. We are provided with a reference number, which is also the request ID. Click Close. We also have the Request Lodge tile. Now, this is a list of all the requests that have been lodged by us or on our behalf. We are provided with a certain amount of information, and this relates to the input date that the request was input, the category of that request, any description or notes that are attached to that request, the status of the request, the completed or the due date, the location, and the reference number, which is also the request ID. We also have the ability to add notes by clicking this green plus sign here. So if we click on that, this opens up the window. Now, if we want to add a comment, we can click Comment. We can add a comment, and we also have the ability to add an attachment. Now, as before, we are able to add an attachment by clicking Add Attachment, double clicking on a file from our device or computer, writing a description, clicking Submit. Now, once we have done that, please note that the notifications and comments are shown here. And if you would like to view them, please click on Comments. Next, we have the Notifications tile. Now, the Notifications tile lists all of the notifications that have been sent to us. We have the date and time, we have the type of notification, the category, and the description. We also have the reference ID, which, as mentioned before, is the request ID. Last but not least is the Reports tile. Now, this allows us to run any reports that we feel may be relevant. Now, we are provided with a report list. Now, this lists the name of the report, any description of the report, the type, the report access, and who we have access for, and then if there are any scheduled reports. In order to run one of these reports, please click on the report and then click Run. And that is the overview of the Councillor Portal and Tile functions. Thank you.